And joining us now from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn is Morey Hershgordon. And Morey, you've been covering URI all year. Was this as impressive as they've looked all season in your eyes?
Yeah, Yianni, considering the stage, right, the Atlantic 10 tournament, it's winner go home time, I think it was the most impressive performance. You know, some of the wins leading up to this and the 4-game winning streak to end the regular season were impressive. The OT winner at Dayton and maybe, the season finale, the revenge game against UMass, but all things considered, today was definitely the day. They dominated on all ends, and they're hungry for a VCU team.
Now, I liked your tweet earlier in the day where you said your takeaways from the locker room were Cyril Langevin getting slighted, not being first team all A-10, and a feeling that URI, this is their league. They won this tournament 2 years ago. Last year, they were the regular season conference champs. Do you feel like they have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder despite a so-so regular season that they belong here?
Yeah, I asked them if they had a chip on their shoulder, if they thought that it was their conference, and to Cyril, if because he was slighted and he didn't make the first team, he had a second team nod, and they all agreed. They said, we're coming in here. They know they weren't supposed to finish 500 this year. They let a few games slip away that probably would have resulted in them finishing in the upper half, the top 4, maybe getting a double bye in this conference tournament. And then you look at Cyril Langevin. I mean, that man came out on a mission today. 25 points, 12 rebounds. He set the tone early on in the game. He only missed one shot. He was pretty excited and he was pretty dominant down low.
All right, Morey, let's look ahead to this VCU matchup. Obviously, the 1 seed, the only team safely solidified into the big dance at this point. URI split with them. A nice home win, but they were shellacked on the road at VCU. What do you see in this matchup come tomorrow at noon?
Well, both teams have a similar style of offense, Yianni. It's very guard-dominated. So I think, all the offense has to go through Jeff Doughton and Fats Russell. It has to start with them, whether those are the two that are doing the scoring or whether they're doing the facilitating. And I also tweeted out today, both of those two combined in the last 5 games have a better than 3-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio. So they are going to have to control the tempo. VCU likes to get up and down the court, so Rhode Island has to lock in defensively. They've held their opponents to well under their shooting averages. They're going to have to do the same against the VCU team that's riding a 12-game winning streak heading into Friday's game. VCU's last loss before they ripped off 12 straight was to the Rhody Rams.
All right, I'll get you out of here on this. They need to win 4 games in 4 days to win this whole thing. Should they win tomorrow, that's 2 of 4. Beating VCU would be the most daunting task, of course, but does this team have the 4 wins in them, the 8 in total for this winning stretch to get to the ultimate goal?
Well, I think when you blow out a team on the first day, David Cox ran his bench 8-9 deep. They were allowed to give some of their starters rest because of the lopsided victory. I think that bodes very well for the Rams to try to win 4 games in 4 days. The starters weren't taxed. They didn't have to go play 35, 37, 39 minutes against LaSalle, so I think that helps. The bench, they clearly had a big spark to try to win 4 games in 4 days. So Rhody is positioned well. Like you said, they got to get over the hump against VCU, but then you look down the line and they beat a St. Bonaventure team who, if all the seeds hold, they would play in the semifinal, and they beat a Dayton team like we talked about. So I think all eyes are pointed to tomorrow against VCU. If they can get over that hump, I think things could look good for the Rams.
All right, good stuff. Morey Hershgordon at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Thanks so much, Morey.
Thanks, Yianni.